What is going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We got a lot to talk about today. Big shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. Of course, I am joined by my good friend here, Mythic AZ, talking all things Arizona Cardinals. Man, how are you doing this lovely Monday morning?
Doing pretty good, haven't slept though, so we're on a little crackhead timing right now, just staying awake over 24 plus hours. But outside of that, pretty decent. Obviously, again, here we are with a record of 1-7 of our favorite team, which we're going to discuss. So that obviously kills the mood just a little bit. But besides that, can't complain. Personal life going pretty well. So, on that aspect, can't complain. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I think we can all kind of lean onto the fact that personal life is always doing very good, right? We're starting to get the shift of the weather happening. I think it was actually sweater weather, like literally, like it was cold last night, which is really cool. And then this morning had a little chill to it. So that's always good here for Phoenix fans or Phoenicians that the weather's starting to change here. So definitely good things. Now, we want to talk about, obviously, what ended up happening yesterday, right? We're going to dive into Cardinals versus Ravens. And we're also going to dive into all the rumors because tomorrow is a trade deadline, Mythic. And we got so many things to kind of dive into today. So we got an extra long stream today. So go ahead and sit back, brew up some popcorn. And it's going to be a good show. I'm really excited about it here. So let's first start off here with Ravens versus Cardinals, shall we? If you don't mind, let's start off with you, how you feel about this game. And I guess, how do you feel about it?
It just seems like we're just on repeat. We are on the definition of insanity, just rocking with the same thing, expecting a different result. Rocking with Josh Dobbs, I mean, we kind of know what we got. And here we are with another disappointing performance up until that fourth quarter where we had some magical things going. It felt like everything was going right. Like the Arizona Cardinals literally could not miss for some reason. We had Trey McBride with that crazy touchdown where he got pushed in the end zone. Somehow didn't get called dead. And then we had Hollywood. Josh Dobbs actually put that ball in the money. I can't hate on it. That was an absolute diamond in the back left of the end zone. Hollywood Brown scored a touchdown against his former team. And then here we go. Matt Prater, we're rallying. And then Matt Prater with the perfect onside kick. And of course, who else to drop it but Nelson Aguilar? And then obviously Matt Prater misses the first kick. And I'm like, wow, that sucks. Flag gets called back. He kicks another one. Looked horrible, but went down. They needed another onside kick and they didn't get it. So the game was a lot closer than it probably should have been, if we're being honest. Everything went right in that fourth quarter, but very disappointing game, obviously, at the end of the day. And all the people who were telling me, again, I'm standing on business right now because all these people telling me Josh Dobbs is QB1, where y'all at now? 1-7. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. I'm standing on business. I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys are standing firm on Josh Dobbs QB1. I'm staying put with Kyler. That's my thing. Haven't seen him yet, obviously, but I'm standing put. Come on. That's where I'm at. I'm just disappointed. I'm sick of Dobbs, man. I'm just so sick and tired. And the fact that Jonathan Gannon came out and just instantly announced that he's freaking QB1 next week, bro. I just want to I don't even know, dude. I don't have words for it. It's just it's nuts.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. I guess, for the most part, To me, I think you're a little bit more positive than I am about this game. I do see that the Cardinals did have some sort of little fight, right? And I'm saying little fight because to me, when I was looking at this game, I always had this thought behind my mind that like this is not Lamar Jackson that has been playing this year. Now, I guess you could attribute it to the Arizona Cardinals defense because I do think that our defense has been pretty solid for the first half and for whatever times our offense can finally get going. I think our defense is solid, so I don't want to take anything away from them. But I feel like the game plan for the Ravens coming into this game was let's play as vanilla as we possibly can, and still try to get this win. And they
Yeah.
could have still beat the living heck out of the Arizona Cardinals, and they did. Now, the points that were put up, yes, there were some good throws here and there, and yeah, you can kind of, hang your hat on it. To me, I don't know, man. I think anything that happened after that, anything happened in the fourth quarter is all fluff to me. Now, yeah,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
we
For sure.
we scored, 17 points in the fourth quarter. And I think that's definitely something that we've cried or at least me, I've cried about, let's fix the second half woes. We scored 17 points in the second half. I'm still not considering this a fix, truly. Like they were
Not
playing
at all.
soft on the Arizona Cardinals and we took advantage. Yes, we did. Did we continue to fight? Yes, we did. But honestly, I'm with you in terms of, I think we're kind of basically watching the same thing over and over on repeat. And it's kind of getting frustrating. It is. And I think that we have some Cardinal fans out there that are kind of upset with me because they want me to hang on these moral victories, which honestly, at this very moment, I'm not going to give you guys any BS. I'm going to tell you guys straight shot. And with what we're having right now, if the Arizona Cardinals' plan is to truly tank, which we'll dive into here a little later on, because my mind has completely changed, Mythic, and I'm not sure if yours has, but my mind has changed. And it's because of this. It's because of this. With the whole thoughts of Kyler Murray being fully healthy, ready to go, or not ready to go, but fully healthy per JG, as well as mentally, he said he was good. He was grasping the playbook very, very good. And then how he looked like in practice, he looked dynamite, fantastic per JG. So all those things were stacked up for the Arizona Cardinals, and we still chose to sit him, right? And not just that, he might sit next week as well. So I don't know. My mindset has completely changed. I think that once I get it in my mind that we're just tanking, it's going to be better, right? I'm not going to be so pissed off. I'm not going to be so upset that the Cardinals are making these decisions, which at the end of the day, we made it close, but it shouldn't have been this close. And I hate that we made it this close because now people are trying to hang their hat on, oh, it's closer.
Oh, yeah. When the game was out of hand, like I'm not positive. Don't get me wrong. It's just like seeing the rally. It's nice. Don't get me wrong, but the game was over. Like you said, I even said this in my video.
Yep.
The Ravens were playing prevent defense. They were letting everything underneath just so it kills clock, right? Like anything underneath, you can have your little 5 to 8 yard dink and dunks march down the field. As long as you're taking time off, it's a win in their book. Obviously, you want to recover that onside kick because then the game is over at that point. And then the Cardinals don't get an extra 3 points, which a lot of people were very upset with that because that covered the money line for a lot of people and just like ruined everyone's bets too, which is hilarious because everyone was like, oh, the fix is in. I'm like, well, the fix is in for the wrong thing. Give the Cardinals a dang win.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not optimistic whatsoever because like, don't get me wrong. I'm so sick of this crap. This game was over. Like it was what, 17 points? Is that like the confirmed number?
17. So 17 points in the second half. They scored 7 points and they couldn't score anything after the first quarter. The second quarter was
after Dobbs got in the end zone, which I feel like is a very occurrent thing. It's either a Josh Dobbs scramble. It's always a Josh Dobbs scramble, man. It's always the same thing.
Yeah.
It's literally it's either a read option or he's just finding his way in the end zone, one or the other. And then outside of that, it's just can't get anything going. And it's the most insane thing. And I don't know what it is. But for some reason, I feel like Josh Dobbs has no connection with anybody outside of Trey McBride, which is insane. Like Michael Wilson, I feel like he still isn't connected. Hollywood Brown, I feel like he hasn't even connected like that. Like, unless it's garbage time. I feel like every time it's garbage time, him and Hollywood are just locked in. But for the entire 60 minutes, we can't see that connection for the first 52. I don't know what it is, but Trey McBride broke out, which is nice, but like that's like the only player that I feel like he has a legitimate connection with. Kyler, on the other hand, I feel like he's going to be able to get everybody the ball, especially Trey McBride too. And then obviously Hollywood Brown, they go back to OU, but I'm not optimistic whatsoever at all. And I kind of agree. Like as soon as I can get my head wrapped around the fact we're tanking now, like we tried to compete, that didn't work, and we just don't have the talent. We're at that point. As soon as I can wrap my head around it fully, because obviously we have a 1-7 record, so it's kind of just like you got to face reality. And I'm kind of like, I'm kind of there now, and it sucks because I don't want to be there. But it's just
Yeah,
like you just got to coast through the rest of the season. Now it's like the tank for the number one pick, which we currently hold. So you
exactly.
just kind of
And
ride with it.
here's the thing too, like, right? I mean, this can either it's funny because I almost kind of feel like people feel like the first overall pick is going to completely change this whole organization around. Like, we've been in Arizona since '88, ladies and gentlemen. What has changed? What has changed? Like, we've had the first overall pick before. Yes, we've got Kyler Murray, but now there's still some questions out there about, is Kyler Murray the quarterback, right? Not from us, but from the fan base. We got a fan base right now that's, kind of grasping at straws and try to hang on to any sliver of hope. And this organization is pretty much says, F you, fans. We're going to do what we feel like is correct. And with what we're seeing as fans, a lot of Cardinal fans that are paying attention, because let's be honest, there's a lot of fair weather fans that are only with the Cardinals when we win, but the ones that
Yeah.
actually stick around, there's some group that agree with me, right? And there's some people that agree with the people that are our team tank. But like, my mindset is, why are we going to start this regime with a bad culture, right? We're trying to get away from the culture of being suckish. That's what we're trying to do. And we're just going right back into repeat mode. And some people out there feel like number one overall is going to get us, everything's going to change from that very moment. And I get it. Monty Ossenfort is way better so far than Steve Keim in the draft.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, let's see what happens. Now, let's dive into this real quick. I think let's talk about a little bit of positivity, because I know there's going to be a portion of those Cardinal fans who are like, all you guys do is bag on Dobbs. So let's talk about some positivity here. I think the Arizona Cardinals defense, for what it's worth, they are a fantastic group. They are a fantastic bunch. The scheme, I don't know if it's scheme, players, buy-in, I don't know what it is, but this Arizona Cardinals defense definitely needs to be talked about more. And this is with not very many star-studded studs out there, right? We're just talking about Budda Baker, but we're seeing a resurgence of life from Zaven Collins, which got another, didn't he get another sack today? Or sorry, yesterday. So like, we're seeing some
Yeah.
players. We're seeing some players get involved. Another late round pick, Dante Stills, was also involved. So I think our
With Matt
defense is very
Sachs.
good for what
Yeah.
we have.
And then BJ Ojolari finally got on the board for a sack of his
Yeah.
NFL career. So shout out to BJ Ojolari, man. I can't wait to see what he can do in the league. I really think next year, if not in the later half of the season, because he's coming off injury, and I feel like he's still sort of hindered a little bit by that. So I feel like later in the season, he's gonna kind of explode. And next season, when he's fully rehabbed and fully ready to go with a full off season, I feel like he's gonna be insane. So shout out BJ Ojolari. Shout out this defense.
Yeah.
Jalen Thompson was back too. It's just
True.
so nice to see everybody on the field. Like James Conner's the next one, obviously, and then Kyler Murray right after that. Or Kyler Murray and probably James Conner are going to return around the same time, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see like everybody just back on the field. And the defense, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but they've had their spurts of just holding teams to whatever they want. I don't know what it is. This defense is above expectations, even with a ton of starters. Like, you have 2 interior linemen gone. You have literally no starting corners on this roster right now, up until maybe Garrett Williams, who's still a question mark as it stands right now, rookie
Right.
corner. Who really knows? We're high on him, but who knows? And then it's just like, where's the talent? You know what I mean? It's just a collective unit playing together, which I love it. Like, this is what I love to see. And then you get a couple like cornerstone players, maybe just start building through the draft, maybe get a corner, a couple interior linemen, some run stuffers. This defense has a chance to be nice.
Yeah. I agree. I think the schemes is working out very well. Now, I obviously I wish we could say the same thing for our offense, but our defense I think has shown some flashes. And I apologize, I did say Zaven Collins. I didn't mean to. Zaven Collins didn't have a sack today, so let me correct myself. But people that did get some sacks today, obviously you said BJ Ojolari, Dante Stills, which is another late round pick, had 1.5 sacks today. Let's see who else got involved. Ben Still. So like, we have a defense that is giving you a full 30 minutes, which, it's better than nothing, right? Nothing, especially if we don't have those star-studded names out there. So honestly, I'm excited about what this defense can do moving forward. But the frustration lies with our offense. Now, I want to play a clip here real quick for you guys, and it does have to do with Jonathan Gannon already naming the starter for week 9, and almost kind of putting Kyler Murray in the back burner. So let's go ahead and do that here real quick. Let's dive into this 5 to 6 second clip here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk first. Let's dive into what JG had to say. All right, let me go ahead and do it real quick. Here we go.
Yeah, I have complete confidence in him, and I thought that he would give us the best chance to get back in the game.
All right, that's it.
Yeah,
So super
short,
quick,
super brief. But the fact that he's coming out here instantly, and he's coming out and saying that Dobbs is QB1 just so confidently. Oh my goodness, Jonathan Gannon, we are going to have problems. Like, we are going to have problems. Why? There's no evaluation, no nothing. He likes what he saw. Like, what? Like, are we seeing the same thing? Are we watching the same product of football? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I can't like comprehend it. Like, what is going on? For some reason, he loves what he sees. I hate it. I think a lot of people in the organization are starting to hate it. What are we doing? We have like, it's not like there's no one behind him. You know what I mean? It's not like we have like Colt freaking McCoy. We have a rookie. We have a rookie. Why not just throw him out there? Maybe he just blows expectations. And you're like, wow, this is a kid we can develop long-term, and he could be a really solid backup just in case Kyler Murray does go down with an injury, which he has in years prior. And this is your quarterback, like just for whatever reason. Josh Dobbs is not under contract after the season.
Right.
Do you want to dabble in money? Like, what if a team wants this guy as a backup quarterback and we have to match that and we end up paying $8 million to Josh Dobbs for a backup? That just seems like a waste of money when you have Clayton Tune.
Ding, ding, ding.
Just see what you have in the kid. I've been preaching it. You've been preaching it. When is it going to get to a point where you're just going to rock with the kid? When is it? Is it ever going to happen? I don't know. We're 8 weeks into the season going into week 9, which is insane. I feel like the season is flying by. And our season is basically over as it stands. So what is the problem? Like, what do you lose? There's only benefits, only gains, because either you're going to figure out if this kid has anything, or you might have a gem. Or if it's not a gem, you could have a backup. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're just really confident with not even getting this guy reps. Like, let's say that he is the long-term solution, right? I'm kind of ranting a little bit, but let's say he is like the long-term backup, and that's what they see him in their eyes, and Josh Dobbs walks.
Right.
Why not play him now? Where's the opportunity where your franchise quarterback is coming off a torn ACL, isn't able to play football games, and you're ramping him up, and you have meaningless football to be played? Like, this is meaningless football at this point, but not for him. It's not meaningless because obviously you're trying to make a name for yourself, but it's meaningless because we're not going to make the playoffs.
Right.
So why does it matter? He has no pressure, no anything. It's like, go out, go play football, go play good, and just try to ball out, try to command this offense, try to lead this offense, try to get something under control, because Josh Dobbs can't do it. Clearly. Yeah. Josh Dobbs can't do it in the first 45 minutes or the first 50 minutes. So what's like, just play the kid. I just want to see what he has.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, and yeah, no, by all means, that's why we created a channel, so we can rant, right? So we can have these, be able to kind of give our feelings out here. Cause I know that there's a selective group out there that's, they almost kind of are in tunnel vision because they're like, okay, well, we're going to lose anyway. So it is what it is, right? And either A, they turn it off, or B, they don't look at the game, or whatever it is, right? Right now we're seeing a head coach, basically straight out lie. Straight out lied to the fan base and telling us that this is the best chance of winning. Now, whether we can admit that tanking is a real thing and we're just like, okay, we're just here for the bumps and bruises. We're going for the ride. Let's see what's going to happen. Nobody's calling for Monty's job. Nobody's calling for Jonathan Gannon's job. Let's be very clear on that. The idea is that if you truly want to win, or if you truly want to evaluate what we have on the roster, let me give you a gem real quick, JG, or if this didn't cross your mind, Monty Austin, you can save a hell of a lot of more money heading into next year when we're supposed to have a grip of money, not re-signing Josh Dobbs.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Save yourself $6, $7, $8 million and not signing this guy that obviously cannot be a backup quarterback that can't win more than 2 games for the Arizona Cardinals. And there were winnable games. It's not like we got blown out. We're competitive. We're competitive. 100%. And I think that's the problem, that we're actually competitive. And we can see if we actually had a franchise quarterback and they're possibly winning these games. Yeah. This is what we're upset with. We're not upset with, we're not calling JG's job out. We're not, but I do not like to be lied to as a fan.
Absolutely.
Don't tell me that Josh Dobbs is the best option for you to win, because he's not. He's
Yeah.
not. He's not. And I think that's the frustrating part here for Cardinal fans that and the other Cardinal fans that aren't getting what the point is, because evaluation, we get it. We knew we were going to suck this year, but keep evaluating him. Don't half-ass it. That's where I'm coming from. Let me get to this contribution if you don't mind. He says, this season is rough, but I wouldn't dog on JG or Monty. We should have known we were going to lose. But when K1 and Connor comes back, hellfire is coming. What are your thoughts on this? I'll chime into it here soon.
I'm not necessarily dogging on any of them. It's just the fact that you call this an evaluation. If you're evaluating properly and we're watching the same thing, Josh Dobbs has looked abysmal this entire month. That's just what it is. We have a record of 1-7. I feel like evaluation doesn't even need to go past the eye test.
Right.
Go look at Josh Dobbs' stats. He passed for under 57 completion percent in back-to-back games, struggled to get the ball in the end zone, and we had 2 horrible losses. I mean, this month hasn't looked great for him. Like, outside of those first 4 games, things have just trended downwards. So, like, what are we really looking at? What are we hanging our hats on at this point? Like, what is happening? I feel like a lot of people, like the Josh Dobbs experiment should be over.
It is,
in my opinion. It should absolutely be over. And for some reason, we're rocking with him just super confidently. Like, he really went out there and did his thing. Like, we had a fourth quarter magic to even get this game close. Like, this game wasn't close. Let's call it how it was. This game was ugly. This game was a blowout. Like, we got absolutely destroyed, and we rallied back a little bit and showed some fight, but like, we still lost by 7. We lost by a whole score, and we could have lost by 10 points if Matt Prater's field goal missed. You know what I'm saying? Like, just a lot of things went right in that fourth quarter to make this even competitive. So, like, I'm just sick of hearing it's an evaluation thing, because if we're really evaluating, then Josh Dobbs isn't the answer, obviously. Like, I mean, he might be the best quarterback on the roster, but long-term, is he the guy? Like, Clayton Tune really might just be super undeveloped, and I understand that he's a rookie quarterback, probably, 22, 23 years old. Like, I get it. This kid's not going to come in here and transcend, most likely. I mean, there's still a chance. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like that's not a possibility, because crazier things have happened. Mr. Irrelevant looked pretty dang good until he got concussed. Yeah. And then I don't know. Like, you just don't know what you have in the NFL. Like, that's the insane part. You don't know if you have a gem sitting on the bench. And they evaluate him in practice, granted, but, like, obviously they know what Clayton Tune looks like. You know what I mean? Like, they know what this kid looks like, but just throw him in.
But that's the thing.
Let the guy develop. Like, that's the thing. He can only, like, I don't even know if that's the right word, but, like, because obviously you can get worse in the NFL, but, like, why not just not give him the reps? Just go out there and give him the first team reps that Josh Dobbs is getting right now, because Josh Dobbs is plateaued. Josh Dobbs isn't going to come in here and elevate anything. He's not going to get better. Josh Dobbs isn't going to come in here and transcend and throw for 3 touchdowns and 300 yards next week.
Right.
Like, we know what he has. Like, he is starting to turn the ball over now, which is what was keeping us in games, is the fact that he wasn't turning the ball over. And now he is. We don't have a run game like that. He is the focal point of this offense. Whether we want to admit it or not, Josh Dobbs is literally the reason this offense is either going to run or it's going to fail.
Yeah.
And it's failing. So what do? I think you just shift it to Clayton Tune. And it's not like Clayton Tune's just like this super transcendent player, but it's just like, he could be a backup for us. Like, it's just like, we've been preaching it. Like, it just seems clear as day. And the fact that Jonathan Gannon's out here calling it an evaluation, like, if you're evaluating properly, we're 1-7, like I said, and Josh Dobbs has looked abysmal this entire month. So, like, why are you so confident? I don't understand it.
That's where we're coming from. And I get it, right? Clayton Tune can come out here and fall flat in his face, right?
Exactly.
But that's the thing. Well, now we know that we keep Dobbs. But that's the thing. Like, we can save you a lot of money, Monty Austin Ford, if you come out here and say, oh, we can get the same production. We can get Clayton Tune to throw 3 interceptions and keep this game, keep this in game. That's what we're looking for. Then, hey, why don't we just keep the cheaper guy, right? Why sign Josh Dobbs if you don't freaking need to? Because at the bottom line, Josh Dobbs is not it. Backup quarterback. No. Yes, we know. We know that we're a 1-7 team. We know that this misery is going to continue to keep happening for the Arizona Cardinals. We know this, unless their plan is truly to tank. And here's the thing. I don't think the players are wanting to tank. You saw Marquise Hollywood Brown clearly upset because he was not getting his fair share of the ball. And if I was a wide receiver that I knew I had an all-star level of playing in the NFL, I would be highly upset as well, especially if our Mr. Josh can't throw Dobbs, can't get him the darn ball unless it's garbage time.
Exactly.
So I understand where the frustration's coming from the players, right? I don't think Josh Dobbs is tanking either. But I
Oh
think
no.
somewhere deep down in the organization, there might be some sort of level of, okay,
Yeah.
maybe we don't want to win these games. Let's stay competitive, because if you look at the paper and if you didn't look at the game, the people that just look at the highlights, they're going to be like, oh, well, the Cardinals bought it. They fought back. It's cool. I'll take it. They didn't. They got crushed. They got dominated. They couldn't do anything unless it was garbage time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm coming from, where, I need to wrap my mind around that they just don't want to win games, right? Call it tank, call it they just don't want to win, or they're trying not to win, whatever you want to call it. I got to wrap my mind around it, because honestly, this look of Jonathan Gannon is not painting a pretty picture for myself. I'm not going to lie to you. I get it. I'm not calling for his job, but this is not a good look from him, to be honest with you.
I feel like he is thrown into a bad situation, granted, but like, why, like the Clayton Tune thing it's just bugging me a little bit. Like, it's just like something that it's just like the fact you're so willing to just throw Josh Dobbs in here as the starter again. Why? What is the benefit? Like, what are we gaining from Josh Dobbs starting? It just feels like we're just on repeat of like the same
Yeah,
thing every single week. Like every single
every
week I'm
single
making a
week.
video, it's like it's the same thing. Like, oh yeah, the defense played pretty well, but Josh Dobbs came out here and fell flat on his face. And that's just kind of where we're at. Like, it's just a repeat, rinse and repeat. We're going insane. That's kind of what
Yeah,
I'm feeling. Like, I'm like,
100%.
I can't wait to tune into the same game again. But
Oh, over and over again. Yeah, did you
like
see that? I
nothing
see some of the
changes.
comments. DeAndre Hopkins, 3 touchdowns yesterday. Now, we
Yeah,
touched on
dog.
the DeAndre Hopkins thing, right? Like, we both feel like he didn't want to be here. Has he came out
Oh
and flat
yeah.
out said it? No, he hasn't. But obviously, I think Monty maybe knows a little bit more than we do as fans. But let's be honest, the moment that we released him, I think we should have known. Like, we ain't trying to contend this year,
Yeah.
because this man still has it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we all knew D Hop had it. I even said he was a top 5 receiver last year. I still think
Yep.
D Hop is top 8. Like,
Yeah.
he's just that kind of guy. Like, the hands don't disappear. Like, he is top 10 hands of all time, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Maybe top 8, top 5. Like, he's up there with the greats. And man, 3 touchdowns on 4 receptions, 128 yards, I believe. Like, the man is insane. Like,
Yeah.
that performance is crazy. And then obviously, I feel like if Kyler Murray didn't tear his ACL, maybe things would have been a little bit different. But the fact that Kyler Murray's out, like, do you think he really wants to go sit here and play with not only a bad quarterback? Like, I get he went and played with Ryan Tannehill. Like, I
Right.
get it, but he's also chasing a bag, which I get as well,
Yeah.
partially. Like, in the NFL, it's like, I don't know. But, like, I don't even know. The D-Hop situation is weird, too, because he says he's going to go play for a contender, and then he signs with Tennessee. So it's just so bizarre.
Well,
But
here's the thing. I
D-Hop's
mean, Tennessee
consistent.
has been more relevant than we have. Like, let's be, I mean, yes, Tannehill sucks. And I think the Tennessee Titans fans knew that Tannehill wasn't the answer. And they've been preaching that for a very long time. But like, they've been in the playoffs for at least the last 2 years of the last 4 years, right? Now, they didn't go very far, but they're relevant, right? I mean, I think he probably thought that with a wide receiving core or a wide receiver, they're going to probably elevate. But no, I mean, this is just a run team. That's what they do.
Yeah.
But
I mean, AJ Brown, though. I mean, you kind of saw what
true,
they had in AJ Brown, They didn't want to
true,
pay him.
true.
They don't want to utilize him. And then he goes to Philly and he has like 6+ games with like 125 yards and he
Yeah,
has like
that's
5
true.
touchdowns in those games. Like, sheesh. I mean, if D Hop was in somewhere like Kansas City or like, I don't even know, you could literally slot DeAndre Hopkins in a lot of places.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of teams that could use him. Tennessee was not the one.
I
And
agree.
I don't understand it. I would have liked to see him go to the Jets personally with Aaron Rodgers, even though the Jets are like semi run first. But with
Right.
Aaron Rodgers, obviously, if you give him a weapon like DeAndre Hopkins, oh my goodness, dude.
Yeah.
Obviously, Rodgers isn't back there, but man, A-Rod and D-Hop just seems like a dream combination.
Yeah, no,
But
I agree. I mean,
yeah,
he was definitely chasing the bag. That's for sure.
for
He
sure.
went for the spot that's going to give him the most amount of money.
I think he's making like 25 million a year. Like,
Yeah,
I can't knock him, dude. I
yeah,
mean, go get your money.
yeah, yeah. Bottom line, another highlight here of this game before we kind of shift off to a different topic, which is obviously the trade deadline coming up tomorrow. Big talking point. We want to talk about Trey McBride.
Absolutely.
Best game so far as an Arizona
Almost
Cardinal.
cracked
10
100
receptions,
yards.
95 yards, 1 touchdown. What are your thoughts?
Almost cracked 100 yards. And I saw
Yeah.
something on Twitter. I mean, this is something that's been surfacing every single time a tight end for the Cardinals almost cracks 100 yards. Is we haven't had a tight end crack 100 yards since like 1998. It's
Sheesh.
insane, right? That's
Sheesh.
nuts. 25 plus years. Uh, I don't know. Trey McBride, this is what I've been preaching. Like, just see what the young kid has. Like, this is what I've like. It's insane. You cut the veterans reps, you give the young kid talent who was taken in the second round. And guess what? He's flourishing. Who would have thought? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's almost insane. It's like he got picked in the second round for a reason. And in
Yeah.
college, he looked great. So I'm just glad Trey McBride, like, no sarcastic stuff. I'm just glad Trey McBride is like actually getting the reps he deserves. And I'm really excited to see what he has long term. I can't wait to see what he has with Kyler too.
Yeah.
Hopefully the connection stays strong. And hopefully he elevates too. And if Zach Ertz does stay with us through the trade deadline, I mean, a backup tight end role wouldn't be the worst thing.
Right.
Honestly. Obviously, if going forward, because we have him for one more year after this, if he wants to stay here long term, I don't know if that's very reasonable. But I do like him as a locker room guy. But Trey McBride is just like clear cut better tight end at this point. And Zach Ertz, one of the best handsets for a tight end. But it's just at that point, you're 30 plus and you have the young guy. And Trey McBride just exploded for 95 yards and 10 receptions. So,
you know what's funny to me? We just talked about opportunity, right? We talked about a tight end group that heavily favored a veteran tight end in Zach Ertz, right?
Yep.
What did it take on a very unfortunate IR trip for Zach Ertz to get there for a Trey McBride to get the opportunity?
Exactly.
This is what we're talking about, because opportunity is only given from the coach's staff, right? We don't know what anybody has until an opportunity is given, like a Brock Purdy, like a Tom Brady, right? Now, obviously, Tom Brady's the GOAT of the GOATs, but I'm saying opportunity doesn't come if you're not given that opportunity. So we're talking about, oh my God, I'm so glad that Trey McBride finally got that opportunity. But there's a portion of this fan base that is literally stunting the growth of someone that we want to see so darn badly, because why?
Mm-hmm.
It's just funny to me. It's funny that we can pick one position and say, oh, here we go. Opportunity has come in. Now this guy is one of the best hands out there. But on the other hand, they don't want to see the other kid because of God knows what. Anyways, yes.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't know. Like, you're in a rebuilding season anyways. So it's just like, why not just play all your cards? Like,
That's
okay, you know what, Josh Dobbs, we saw what you got. And I mean, shoot, if Clayton Tune stinks it up for 2 weeks straight, cool. Guess what?
First overall, here we
go. Throw
go.
somebody in. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Cool. Josh Dobbs, go back in the game. You know what I mean? Like, just see what he has. Like, it doesn't matter. Just throw him in. We're 1-7. Like, experiment. Get creative. Go see what Clayton Tune has. He's a rookie. And from what I'm hearing, a lot of people love him in the Cardinals, or not in the Cardinals organization, but the fan base. And watching his college tape, it's like, okay, yeah, the kid can ball a little bit. See what he has. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he could be something decent. Like, I really don't think Clayton Tune's going to come in here and try and set anything, obviously. Like, I just don't. But just see what he has. Like, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Literally. You can't hurt from it.
I agree. But yeah, Trey McBride, huge game. Absolutely huge game. And I'm actually very excited to see what's going to do for the future. And it's unfortunate that I had to take a Zach Ertz to be landed on the IR to see him. But yeah, I hope this is going to be just kind of more to come, and hopefully a future weapon here for either Kyler or quarterback DVD. We don't know. But let's dive into, obviously, the trade rumors and what's been going on, ladies, and a lot of chatter that's been happening in the NFL world. And I think we're both here for it. That's why we're doing an extended show today, ladies and gentlemen, because there's a lot to dive into today. Now, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here again. I'm going to go ahead and play the latest clip here from Ian Rappaport and the NFL Network. So let's go ahead and dive right into what they have to say, because obviously with some big injuries that happened over the weekend, Kyler Murray has been a talking point amongst the NFL. So let's dive into it.
It sounds like probably not. Now, I mean, maybe he is able to be – he's going to be active after this week, right? I mean, they basically are going to activate him. It's not like they're worried about him taking up a roster spot. He's a quarterback.
All right. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like this is just what we've been preaching, kind of just doubles down. The team needs to evaluate him at the end of the day. These are kind of like You don't want him to re-injure himself. That was stated as well. I agree 100%. You don't want him to go out there and re-injure himself, so you kind of take your time with it. We want to see him back selfishly as fans, but I guarantee he wants to be out on the field right now. Like, no doubt about it. The fact he's just sitting here and watching his team lose, it's got to irk him a little bit. And, Kyler Murray obviously will transcend this team. The team needs to evaluate what he can do on the field in these limited games going forward next season. If he's our franchise quarterback, then you want him fully healthy. You want him here. And I feel like it is trending good. He does look pretty solid in training camp. He does have the zip on the passes. So from what I'm seeing, which is just obviously practice clips from whoever's recording them and posting them on Twitter because I'm not there. But I like what I'm seeing. I hope the team likes what they're seeing. I hope he can come in here and ball out. But I feel like this just doubles down on what we've been saying. And it's pretty common sense.
So, yeah, I agree. But it definitely makes things a lot murkier, right? It makes things because obviously with what happened over the weekend, we ended up getting a report here from Diana Rossini from The Athletic. She ended up saying this: while there are teams that could be interested in trading for Arizona quarterback Kyler Murray, I was told the organization is not shopping him. Murray is expected to play for Arizona over the next few weeks. Thoughts?
I feel like this makes sense too. Like, obviously you don't want to trade him because what's the point in trading him right now? What if he is an absolute like stud in this offense, right? And we never know. And it was just a what if scenario. Trade deadline's tomorrow. We haven't gotten the proper evaluation on Kyler Murray whatsoever. And I feel like we know what he can be. Just like me and you, we feel like we know what he can be. We feel like he can be transcendent, but the team needs to see it. Like, you're coming off an ACL tear. Obviously, a lot can change. Your mobility, your confidence, everything can lower. So you need to see him back on the field. You got to see if you can perform at that level. And I just like moving off him at the deadline has never made sense. It's just a move that doesn't make sense because you might not even get the number 1 overall pick. So say they want to go Caleb Williams. Say we land the number 3 pick. What's the point? You know what I mean? You move off your franchise quarterback, and what are you stuck with? Josh Dobbs again? Like, that just sounds miserable. Like, Kyler Murray is a clear upgrade over Josh Dobbs at the very minimum. You know what I mean? So even if we don't get the number 1 pick, and even if Kyler Murray's not their guy, if we don't get that number 1 overall pick, it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. So, I mean, what are you going with, Drake May? I highly doubt this regime wants to go Drake May or Shador Sanders or anybody else. So I feel like if we don't get the number 1 overall pick, if we do get the number 1 overall pick, things get a little tricky. Because I don't know where the organization wants to head. Like, I genuinely don't. And that's the scary part because I'm not a Caleb Williams believer, but just put faith in him, man. I mean, yeah, it's just what it is. I mean, they haven't made a bad decision yet. So if they move off Kyler, obviously there's going to be a lot of question marks, probably a lot of anger out of me. I'm not going to lie, but, you just ride with what's happening at this point. It's the life of the Cardinals fan.
Yeah.
We just want the Lombardi here.
I agree, man. I think when we're dealing with this, there's just a lot of moving parts, right? And to me, it still kind of feels like we don't 100% feel like the Arizona Cardinals, let me retrace it back. I don't feel like the Arizona Cardinals fully 100% believe that Kyler Murray is their guy. Maybe it might be 95%, it might be 90%, but it's not 100%.
There's doubt.
There's doubt. Exactly. For whatever issue, right? For whether you think he's not going to be able to execute the Drew Petzing offense, which honestly, everything here, it's all leading up to like, they don't want to win games. Like, honestly, like, it's crazy to me that, like, if somebody's fully healthy, and we're talking about a franchise quarterback, we're not talking about Clayton Tune. We're talking about a guy that was a 2-time Pro Bowler. We're talking a guy that was a rookie of the year, right? We're not talking about some scrub. We're talking about Kyler Murray.
Yep.
Man is fully healthy, and you're still waiting because you want him to be able to do everything you want him to do. Well, he's healthy. What are the limitations? I think limitations are that they fear that he's going to re-injure himself. It's going to hurt their trade value if they decide to trade him off. I think you're right. I think that the Arizona Cardinals truly do not know what's going to happen for these next, 9 games now. So if the Cardinals do find themselves with the 1st overall pick in the NFL draft, I think it's going to be a strong consideration that they're going to move off of Kyler because of where we're at. Now, Ian
Mhm.
Rappaport came out and said he could be activated to the 53-man roster, but we might still not play him. How insane is that?
See, if that happens, that's nuts. Like, I understand waiting the 3 weeks and letting him ramp up because he didn't get a training camp or whatever. So this is basically like his training camp. This is his ramp up. You know what I mean? Like, this is him getting in game shape. So I understand if they take all 3 weeks and push it because these games don't matter at the end of the day. So Kyler Murray's just ramping up at this point, which is fine. You know, let him get first team reps, let him do everything, let him get comfortable in the offense. It's fine. I'm sure he knows the offense, and literally our head coach said he's fully healthy. If we activate him though, and he rides the bench, then we're gonna have problems. That's where I'm gonna be like, okay, what's the point? Like, what the heck? Just go see what Clayton Tune has. If you're gonna activate him and have him ride the bench and see no playing time, and it's just not happening. I can't, like, if that happens, then Jonathan Gannon, I'm questioning a lot of decisions. But like, I understand the decision pushing it 3 weeks and then having him come back against Atlanta, who's way worse than Cleveland. But I'm not sure in what world, if Kyler Murray's fully healthy and he gets activated, if he rides the bench, I will have a lot of questions. I will have a ton of questions.
That's that. I mean, obviously, it's all TBD at this very moment, right? I don't think the Cardinals are fully convinced that
Yeah.
he's their guy. 100%. They might be 90%. I'll give you 95%. I don't think fully 100% they're
Yeah.
convinced that he's going to be the franchise quarterback moving
I feel
forward.
like it's reasonable doubt though, just off of, like, obviously you have the hearsay of Kyler Murray like not studying or whatever. So obviously you have the skeptics, and they could be fully bought in because Jonathan Gannon said he took the job because of Kyler, and he seems super excited to even be in the building with Kyler Murray. He wanted to address it as soon as possible. He wanted to go see him as soon as possible. So obviously, I feel like Jonathan Gannon is here for Kyler Murray a little bit. He likes what he can bring, but I feel like it's reasonable doubt. You know what I mean? And I'm a big Kyler, like, I'm a Kyler guy. I
Me too.
like Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray's great, and I feel like he gets a ton of disrespect. But coming off an ACL tear, I mean, you got to prove yourself at the end of the day. And I'm not hating, right? Like, I'm just being a realist from the front office. Like, I oversee it. I think Kyler Murray is going to come back and he's going to be great. That's the thing. So I feel like there's no problems there, but you just got to come back and prove it. That's all they're looking for at this point. You just like, okay, cool. We know what you're capable of. Just show me you can still play at that level. And if you can play at that level, we'll move forward. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's
Yeah, yeah.
just, as a business and as an organization, you have to evaluate. It's stupid in the NFL, regardless of who's behind center. It doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't at the end of the day. Unless you're just so solidified and you have like a Patrick Mahomes, then there's no point. You have to evaluate. And no one's safe. This is the NFL. No one's safe. Like, everything can change from week to week. So you just have to make those evaluations. I feel like it's proper. I wouldn't even call it doubt because you could sit at 90%, which is like where I'm at. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, obviously, there's a 10% window of like, I don't know. He's coming off an ACL tear. I don't know if this is the guy for them, but like 90% of me believes that he is because I've seen what he can do in the past. And I feel like he would be a really good fit, and we don't have to just sit here in this BS vanilla offense where
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs doesn't push the ball past 15 yards. Kyler Murray at one point in time was one of the best deep ball throwers in the league. And then his last season obviously took a dramatic drop because the offense looked a lot worse. But I feel like he'll be okay. It's just you got to evaluate. Proper evaluation. I think it's fair.
Yeah. I mean, it might be just one of those things that I can't wrap my mind around. Like, I get the training camp thing. I get it. But also at the end of the day, this man's getting paid $230 million to learn the playbook, right? Mentally, JG said he's there. In
Yeah.
practice, he said he's there. He loves the command of the offense. He loves the way the ball zips out of his hand. And on top of that, he's fully healthy.
That's the
They're
part.
not trying to win, brother. They're not trying to win. And here's the thing. Dude, it's taking me this long. It's taking me this long. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are saying, I've been telling you from the beginning, Mike. I've been telling you from the
Yeah.
beginning. And I hate it. I hate to admit that this is where we are at right now. But they are not trying to win.
Yeah, I kind of agree. And like, I wonder if there's like a certain aspect where they do want to see Kyler on the field for the evaluation, but I wonder if it's just like at a point where they're like, they know Kyler's the guy, like they've seen a little bit in practice. And it's like, okay, we're just going to push it off as much as possible so you don't hurt yourself so we can roll with you into the next season. Like, I wonder if that's what they're thinking. You know what I mean? Like, we do want to see you on the field. Obviously, we want to get you comfortable again. But I wonder if they just, like, know that Kyler's the guy. Like, I wonder, like, deep down if they just know. And they're just doing evaluations or whatever.
Right.
And if they get that number 1 overall pick, they just ship it off and get a jack ton of talent. Like, I wonder. Like, I really wonder what is getting in the head. Or, like, what's in the head of Monty Ossenfort and Jonathan Gannon right now. Like, I wonder where they stand on the quarterback situation. Because obviously we're just spieling as fans. Like, we have no idea what's going on in that building. We don't know what conversations they're having. We don't know what the scouts are saying about Caleb Williams. We don't know what internally they're even thinking. Because clearly what we think is right with Clayton Tune just hasn't panned out. It hasn't materialized. So, like, what is in the head of Jonathan Gannon and Monty Ossenfort when it comes to Kyler Murray? I would love to be in one of those meetings and just listen. I'd love to be a fly on the wall and just listen.
But here's the thing too, Mythic. I mean, you got to think about on the other side of the coin too, right? I think a lot of us are really trying to find a silver lining here. And like I said, I'm going to be very, very blunt here because that's just kind of how I pride myself. I've always been like that since I started this YouTube journey of mine. JG have a portion of the fans out here not liking him already. And that's bad. This is year one. This is year one. Now, we all get it, right? We're not trying to compete this year. And I'm fully aware that we're not trying to compete. But I think that the Arizona Cardinals, the moment that they might come out and say, oh, okay, well, Kyler's not going to be coming out, that's going to hurt business.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ticket sales are going to plummet. Everything's going to plummet. Like, I don't know what the sales are looking like, but even in good seasons, the Cardinals struggle to sell out.
Bro,
so
did you see
I'm
the
just
TV seats right there? That whole 300 section looked like a dead zone. It looked bad. It was purple everywhere, and there was some seats there too. I'm not sure if you took a look at the notice. Now, obviously, in the fourth quarter, everybody kind of cleared out in terms of Cardinal fans. Ravens fans stuck around because they're happy for their team. But the whole 300 section, I can tell from the TV, it was dead zone, bro.
I didn't pay attention to that, but like I just know because even in our good years, it like I remember very vividly like a couple games like San Francisco takes over our stadium, Rams fans take over the stadium, the Packers fans dominated the stadium. Like I had people telling me the Packers fans, like when we lost the game where AJ Green didn't turn around, I heard Packers fans were just dominating the stadium. And I was like, dude, that's insane. Like even in our good years or what's supposed to be our like great years where we're 7-0 and just transcendent. And this offense looks great. The defense looks phenomenal. It's just like, this team is just fantastic. We can't even sell out. And it's like, it's insane. It is insane. Like I get like football's not like the top sport in Arizona or whatever. Like obviously you have baseball and you have basketball. Those are like the two tops, but like, it just feels like there's just no support like for this team, even in our good years. So then our bad years, we can't get a rally around. Imagine if they shut Kyler down.
Well, I'm actually, what you just said, I considered this to be a football/basketball town. Now, obviously it's shifting to baseball because, well, I've been to multiple baseball games in this season and it never sold out like the way that it is in the playoffs.
I feel like I always see D-back stuff everywhere over Cardinal stuff. Maybe it's just because the Cardinals apparel is just absolutely terrible because I can't find a single good Cardinals shirt, hoodie. No. Like it's just all like the most bland, just fat logo on the front, and that's just it. Like there's like no sick anything. Like the Diamondbacks obviously have a lot better apparel and everything, so maybe that's what it's like in my head a little bit because I don't go to baseball games. Yeah, and the Suns also. Fantastic apparel, throwbacks, fantastic. Same with the Diamondbacks, and they're starting to like reintegrate all of that. And the Suns are doing kind of like the same thing. So maybe that's what's skewing my mind because I don't go to a lot of baseball games. I'm not like a baseball fan like that. Obviously, rooting for the Diamondbacks right now, right? But I'm not like a baseball fan. And maybe the playoffs are just different because it's the playoffs. Obviously, exactly. I would go to a World Series game, like I would go to it, and I'm not even a baseball fan because how many times are you going to get that opportunity? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like, I wouldn't go to many baseball games personally, but like I would go support them in the playoffs. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not even a fan of that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like I just, as a community, you know, it's just fun to rally around and just be like within that. Like you want to like root for the hometown, obviously, even if it's the Coyotes. Like I'd go to a baseball game over in NHL, but I'm still going to support. That's the thing. Like, yeah. Let's bring it home. Let's get something let's get some positive traction within Arizona. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like for some reason we just never have been able to like the Cardinals do sell out. That's the thing. Like, the Cardinals have sold out a ton of games, but like the ticket prices were announced at the beginning of the season. Like, do you remember the ticket prices? Like, they launched it and they went up. They went up. How? We just lost DeAndre Hopkins and they went up. And Kyler Murray's not playing.
They went for it, brother. They went for it, and they know now go to an app right now. You can get those tickets on the nosebleeds for like $15.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are we doing? Like, I feel like if you want people, I don't understand it. Like, from a business perspective, I get it. You want to jack the ticket sales, and in an ideal world, you'll sell out, right?
Yeah.
Because the Cardinals fans have sold out the stadium countless of times. Don't get me wrong, or not even Cardinals fans. Don't get me wrong, because when ticket sales, like the University of Phoenix Stadium or whatever they call it, State Farm Stadium, they say it sells out. A lot of these fans aren't even Cardinals fans, so that's what I'm saying. Like, we'll sell out, but it won't be dominated by Arizona Cardinals fans. So it's like our home field advantage is like very skewed because it turns into like a 50-50 game at the very best, and it's insane. It's insane, and we can't even win home games. Like, we're really struggling to win home games. Like, we are on a record of winning like one home game in the past like 2 or 3 seasons. Like, it's gotten bad. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Well, this season doesn't help either.
Not at all. It just keeps plummeting.
That's the problem. People think that tanking is going to solve the issue. No, what's going to solve the issue is you winning.
Look at what the Suns did. They went on a bubble run. They went on a bubble run, invested in Chris Paul.
Ding, ding, ding.
And fans just rally in. It just gives them life, right?
Ding, ding, ding.
And as soon as you get life and you have something to rally behind, it gets you intrigued. It gets you invested, and it gets you like you get a little glimmer of hope. They invested. I don't know where the Cardinals are even at right now. Like, I used to go to Suns games for like $12 and get middle row section tickets, and I would go as many of them as I could. You know why? It's the experience. I'm a diehard fan of the Phoenix Suns and the Arizona Cardinals. If I can go to a game for $12, sign me up, right? $12 isn't hurting me. I get to go to a game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the experience. If we can get blown up by 20 points, cool. I went for $12. You know what I mean? Like, I sat home and watched it in front of the TV.
Right.
Like, I might as well just go. Like, it's $12. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, how many people out there would love to take their kid to a game for $10? Like, there's people out there who would love to have that. And like, even, not just the nosebleeds. Like, obviously, if you can go for the middle row for like $25, I'm sure there's a lot of people who would do it. The middle row are like $144, like $200. Get real. I'm not paying that. I'm not. Like, to what? Watch Josh Dobbs freaking put up 7 points in 3 quarters, and like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. $200, not a chance. Not a chance in the world am I spending that. Not at all.
It's wild, man. And it's funny. We're all kind of making it seem like it's this big rocket science. How do we crack this code? And here's the thing. I don't blame fans. I don't. You guys keep your money, do your thing. I'm not going to be the one to say, "Oh, spend your money."
I'm not pocket watching or anything. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. No, like, a lot of you guys are grown. It's your money. You spend it how you want. But like, me personally, I just can't rationalize that. Like, I can't get behind spending $200 to watch a loss.
We all got bills, man. We all got bills to pay. So yeah, definitely don't feel like we're telling you guys to go out there and support the Cardinals when obviously it doesn't seem like they want to win.
Oh yeah, like if you go to a game or you want to go to a game, nosebleeds, $10-$12. I like, unless you got it like that. If you got it like that, then you do you, but I don't got it like that to go spend $200 to watch that. Like, if the Cardinals were smart at this point, like, even people just getting introduced to football, like, that's the thing. Like, imagine you're like someone who's like, oh yeah, I've never been to an NFL game in my life, and I'm trying to get into football, and then you like pull up like SeatGeek, and you're like, oh, it's Cardinals tickets. What can I? Well, for good seats, what can? Oh, $200. No, like,
pass.
That's what I'm saying. But like, if they just start like, if the Cardinals are smart, they would really at this point start getting to the point where they would either start giving away tickets or lowering the prices. Because what are we doing? Because if they don't sell, then what does it do? You know, like, I don't know how ticket sales are looking, but like, if you want Cardinals fans to start supporting you and not opposing fan bases, lower the ticket prices.
Yeah.
It's that simple because we know we're going to lose. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we know we don't have a chance to win many of these games. We know we don't have the talent, but just lower the ticket prices. It's that simple.
I agree. And there actually some breaking news came down here 4 minutes ago, not for the Cardinals, but it is confirmed that Kirk Cousins has a tear in his Achilles. So
That's
he's
so
done for the
unfortunate.
season. Very unfortunate for the Minnesota Vikings because they were going on a run. Now, obviously, going back to the Cardinals here, we got Kyler Murray and a lot of speculations with can he be traded? Can he do this? But now that we ended up seeing Diana Rossini's report come out, now, obviously, it's not set in stone, right? This is just basically he said, she said, right? I've heard this person. So definitely take this with a grain of salt. Although, yes, she probably has some connections. We've seen some crazy things happen as far as being a Cardinals fan. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, this was a team that I said would be in contention for Kyler Murray, them or the Falcons or the Commanders. I said Vikings should be the heavy favorite. It makes sense. It just makes so much sense if Kyler Murray is to get dealt. That's the team. You know what I mean? And then they would probably lock up Justin Jefferson. Then they got their little tandem going, the young dynamic duo, which would be fantastic. Obviously, I'd rather have it flip. Justin Jefferson, you come to Arizona. I'm going to pitch it right now, Justin Jefferson. I know you're probably in this live stream. You're one of the 40 people watching. So, I mean, come to Arizona. CeeDee Lamb, same thing. I mean, we'll take either one. I'm not complaining either way.
Got you, bro.
Somebody send this to Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb, man. Let's get one of them to Arizona. Because we need something, dude. And sheesh, imagine Justin Jefferson and Kyler Murray. Sheesh. Ooh, fantastic.
At this point, with 9 games left in the season, I just think Monty Austin Ford is
he's just trying to ride it out.
I think they're riding it out
as possible. For sure. I don't even know. There's just not much optimism.
There isn't. No, there isn't. And you guys can take whatever you want, right? We're in games. We're fighting hard. You take that to the bank. That's
the moral
fine.
Victories. But then when I look at the record and I see 1-7, it just pains my heart.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the fact that we're 1-7. These little moral victories only go so far. They don't take you to wins. They don't take you to the playoffs.
Exactly. All right, brother. Well, let's go ahead and open up the phone lines. We promised the people here in the chat the phone lines are going to be open. So this is the time for you guys to let us know how you feel. Do you think that we are wrong with anything that we said here today? Definitely go ahead and let us know here once we open up the phone lines. If this is your first time here, it's absolutely simple. Now, obviously, if you're listening to this and a playback on Apple Podcasts, which we are now streaming on, you're not going to be able to participate. But if you want, you can always go to YouTube, subscribe to our Big Red Pod YouTube channel. And yeah, you can join in on our live stream.
In the future, you want to tune into a live stream Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Tune in. If you're on Apple Podcasts, come on over and come. We'll open the phone lines here and there. So if you want to have a conversation, the best place to get us at is YouTube when we go live.
Absolutely. All right. Link has been posted there, ladies and gentlemen. I know we only have about 38 to 40 people keep kind of fluctuating, but the link's been posted there. If you want to jump on in, let us know how you guys are feeling about everything. Anything Cardinals related, please let us know here in the chat. Here
Kyler,
below.
Caleb Williams, tanking season. If we should move on, literally just drop all your just vent. Yeah. Just vent it out.
This is the time. All right, perfect. We got our first guy here. We got RC3, one of my guys here. Let's go ahead and bring him on here. RC3, you're live on the AZ Sports Fan here. Or I'm sorry, on the Big Red Pod. What's up, man? What's up, man? How you feeling?
I know what it's called. It's okay. I got you. I've seen it in the comments already, and I've seen a lot of stuff that was being said. But in this NFL game, you got to realize that we have to play strategically with these picks. You understand, we getting comp picks from Byron Murphy. We also getting 2 draft picks because the Texas schedule is looking very brutal. Then you also got to look at, everybody kept saying, we're looking worse than the Bears, but the Bears don't have their pick. So you got to look at a lot of the concepts that we have that's going over here. Everybody's saying Kyler Murray's getting traded, but nobody looked at what if we have number 1 and number 3. That means there are a lot of quarterback heavy people, which means that we could trade back to get more players that we could add there. Like Kool-Aid, the offensive lineman that we kept talking about. There's a lot of things that we need that can help Kyler out with this offense. And not to mention, we can also use the multiple picks to go on for next year as well, too. Plus, we have more money that could bring in Payne, different other people that's on this team as well, too, and also secure Hollywood Brown's contract. So we're not talking about those conversations. We're just talking about, hey, we're going to lose Kyler. I don't care if I had to pay $30 and some pita bread for a dog on Arizona Cardinals seat right now front row. I don't care. But at the
Right.
same time, everybody's talking about Connor. I'm just going to be honest with you. Connor might be going this year.
Yeah.
And nobody's not talking about that because there's a lot of running backs that's look like we should look at the opportunities we had. We had Kareem Hunt. We had Fournette. I mean, we don't need to have somebody that's really strong. What we need somebody to just to take the run off of Kyler. I wouldn't want to play Kyler this season with this team we got right now on offense.
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs just showed us what our offensive lineman will look like if they block for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being truly honest with it. But
Yeah.
when you like to have the number 1 and the number 3 pick or the number 2 pick and trade these picks, because you can still get a Marvin Harrison if you want to keep one and still trade the other pick going back to get other players. That seemed like a smart move to me.
Exactly. We saw what the
Yeah,
Bears got too.
Yeah.
The Bears got DJ Moore and assets. And if the Bears knew how to hit on picks, they could build this thing out crazy. And if
And
even
look,
if Justin Fields doesn't materialize, the Bears did it the right way. They
but
got the
look at
number
it
1
this
pick
way.
and they thought they had their franchise quarterback and they're trying to build around him. So we are in a better position than they are to do that.
But look at it this way too. If you just like you said about those picks, right? Then we just said, then Monty and all of them said that we're trying to get a fill in on all the draft picks. We need a full scouting to see what's going on. And you guys clearly said that we didn't miss with the draft picks we already have, right?
True.
So now that you fully scout and you trade back and you bring more people into this fold, like Kool-Aid, the offensive lineman, you could get another running back. That means it's not just only one number 1 draft pick. You get multiple second rounds, picks the following year, third rounds, fourth rounds, things that we actually mean. Like we could mess around and have 15 picks coming into the draft, like the Jets did one year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't just go as first rounds. Like you said, we can build it out in the second round. We can get 3 picks in the second round, 3 picks in the third round, 2 picks in the first. Obviously, you can trade that and deal it out. You can have 1 pick in the first and just spread it out. But we can get assets. That's the thing. We can build this thing crazy. Like these next 2 years could be so monumental for this team, and people don't really understand that. Like if we get the first overall pick, it doesn't have to be Caleb Williams.
It
Can
doesn't. I don't
be.
like him.
I
I'm
don't
gonna be
either.
honest with you.
I
I
can't
don't like him.
stand him. It's just like everything about it, like just irks me. Like
And
every
his
single thing
dad
that comes
is like
out.
LeVar Ball.
Yeah, I agree with
Oh
that.
my gosh.
And Mike,
Like,
and I told you this. You know I'm the king when it comes to the draft guru. I've been undefeated with my stands. You know, last time we watched a few drafts, and I've been hitting. And I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody's focusing on Caleb Williams and Drake May and everybody else.
contenders.
Kyler is going to stay on this team, and they're going to build that offensive line so that man doesn't have to run. He has a running back for that offense. And we're going to have multiple money that we're going to have to get whoever we need to sign to fill in them voids for the trenches until we want to pick again next year. If the defense is doing this and we ain't do as much as we supposed to, we just got a few picks there. Everybody on that kind regime, everybody that's on that regime there, Cliff Kingsbury, they're slowly being depleted. The only one that's really that means something is Gardeck and Zaven Collins, to be honest with you. And Buda Baker, to me, I like Buda, but to be honest with you, heart and soul, if you're going to keep complaining, you can leave. That's the reason why we got rid of D-Hop, because D-Hop is going to go with the Titans. Who else you going to throw the ball to? Because everybody else keep dropping passes. I'm just saying.
Yeah. We haven't heard that he's not off the table. We have heard that Kyler is off the table as well as Marquise, but we haven't heard anything of Buddha. So we'll see. RC3, I'm going to let you go, man. I enjoy it as always. Got a couple other people, man. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Oh, man. He always gets me jacked up. I agree. I know. All right, let's go with Felipe. Felipe, you're live on the Big Red Pod here on YouTube. Talk to me. How you feeling?
Awesome. I totally agree with what RC3 said. I will also add that I would keep Trey McBride because he's been amazing, and I'm impressed, and I'm very excited. Another thing that I think is different is I love this defense, and I remember the defense from Van Joseph. I remember that always in the fourth quarter, they disappeared. Always, they disappeared in the fourth quarter.
Always.
This defense keep fighting, and I love that. I love that mentality. They keep fighting. I think we're building something in the defense for the future. And I've been thinking that maybe one of the reasons why we haven't played Kyler yet is because they know that once we play Kyler, we're gonna start like winning some momentum. I don't know if games, but momentum. I hope so. For this year and for the future. And I really hope that we can keep Kyler and keep Brown as well.
Yeah.
And we extend Brown because I think this is the last year for Hollywood Brown. And if, as you said, and as RC3 said, we can build and bring in more talent and guys for the future, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
But for this year, I would play Clayton Tune. Oh my God! But since week 3, I think I gave Dobbs another chance because we won against the Cowboys.
Cowboys. Yep.
Yeah.
But he's been awful. Those picks that he threw yesterday. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh my God! I couldn't believe it. It's the first time I remember since I don't know how many years back that I turned off my TV. The first time. I always consume the whole
The game.
match. Always. This is the first time, and I actually changed it to. I don't know. Remember what other game? I think that the Cleveland Browns were playing.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God! It's hard to see Josh Dobbs playing. And that's what I want to say. I'm excited for the future, and because of the way they have been building the culture, the defense. Other than than Wilson, I forget his first name. Michael Wilson, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been burned so many times already. Yeah. I would get rid of him ASAP, honestly. Yeah. So that's my take, and I love it. I agree 100% with you and RC3. I love it, and I hope.
I appreciate it, Felipe.
Yes, sir. Did you see the interception that he threw to Michael Wilson? Or the interception that was targeted to Michael Wilson, where Michael Wilson ran like obviously not like a crisp in route, but just like a bubble.
The one that was just like completely like not.
Yeah, it was literally just a bubble rim, and he sailed it completely over his head. Like it's literally maybe a 12-yard just like in route, just completely ducked right over his head. I was like, how does that even happen? Like, how do you throw the ball 10 yards over someone's head? Like what's some miscommunication? Like, it's just Josh Dobbs. It's the Josh Dobbs experience is what we're on right now.
We got one more person here. We got Jeffrey here. Going to close it up. Jeffrey, you're live on the Big Red Pod here on YouTube. Talk to me. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. How you feeling?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How you feeling about the Cardinals?
They're not looking good this year.
Not at all. Not at all. You optimistic at all with the future, or like how you feeling?
Is a future. Kyler is the guy, but already know Kyler is going to be gone tomorrow. Minnesota
gone tomorrow.
Yep, Minnesota want him because Minnesota. Justin Jefferson is Kyler's buddy.
We're getting spicy. You think Kyler's gone after all the rumors that Kyler's not on the block?
Yep. Kyler's getting traded tomorrow by 3:00.
Oof. What do you think we get then?
Let's go get Caleb.
Oh, no. I'm good. I don't want Caleb. I'm good.
Or, hey, let's trade the pick. Keep Kyler. Send Dobbs off. Dobbs is not that good.
Yeah, Dobbs is horrible. I don't know if a team's going to take him at this point. Like, I don't think Josh Dobbs has a market.
Nope.
Send Dobbs to Minnesota.
Send Dobbs to China, dude.
Okay, listen to this. I'm a diehard Kyler Murray fan. I got his jersey. I just got his jersey. Let's pick Clayton Tune in. Give Clayton Tune a chance with the offense. And let him finish this game out.
I agree with that one.
Yeah, I agree with that one
for
sure.
Clayton Tune in the game. Clayton Tune's got to come in. I can't.
This head coach, Jonathan Gannon, is a good head coach, but they're not letting Kyler play this year. You know why?
He'll win.
Kyler is not going to play because they don't want him injured.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Kyler is the future quarterback.
All right, Jeffrey, I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate you for coming on. Have a good day. All right. Yeah, a lot to dive into there. Jeffrey just threw it at us. He was like, he's getting traded, but then he's the future at the end of it all. So I don't know which way to go. Real quick.
A lot of dances.
Yeah. Real quick. Do you think Kyler's getting traded tomorrow?
Absolutely not. I think It's dead as it stands. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping, because oh my gosh, I'm like so skeptical because I have like a thing with jerseys, right? Here's my thing. When I get a jersey, the player for the Cardinals goes to absolutely dog water. And give me 2 seconds, because watch this. I got him to prove it real quick. It's insane what happens. I don't know what it is, but my luck is just absolutely terrible when it comes to jerseys.
Don't tell me you just got a Kyler jersey.
Oh, no. I was thinking about it.
I was like, you're gonna jinx us.
It literally started with Tyrann Mathieu, right? Tyrann Mathieu got a jersey from Tyrann, got cut as soon as I got that. We got Carson Palmer right here. As soon as this got bought, Carson Palmer out for the year. Torn ACL or whatever it was. David Johnson cut or traded literally the season after I got that. And I was just like, dude, it doesn't work for me. So I'm just like, I'm so hesitant to get a Kyler jersey. Like, I want it so bad. I want the icy white Kyler Murray jersey, but I'm holding off. I'm good. It's just bad luck after bad luck. And then
you don't want to see.
Yeah, I don't want to see Kyler gone, dude.
No, you don't want to see my collection, man. I got Rosen. That's how bad it is.
I mean, I got this to give away too.
There you go.
White D-Hop. Like, he's not on the team anymore, so this is getting given away at 6K on my channel. But like, man, I'm done buying jerseys. Never again.
Fair. That's fair. All right, man. Let's close it. We got one more guy here. We got AZ fan here. Let's get him on here. And let's close it up, and then we'll kind of close up shop here. So AZ fan, you are live on the Big Red Pod here on YouTube. Talk to me. How are you feeling about the Cardinals?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. Sorry, I'm at work, so I'm gonna make this quick because I'm just that pissed off. I went to the game Sunday, watching the whole thing. I'm like, why the hell do we have Joshua Dobbs in here? Put the rookie in. Like, we're already losing as is. Might as well just see what you got, right? But I think Kyler Murray and James Conner are coming back week 10 against Atlanta? Because, I mean, they're talking about soft landing spot, right? But I don't think we're tanking. I really don't. I mean, yeah, we're losing the way we are right now because we're making choices of keeping Dobbs in. But if you look at this year's draft class coming up, not only do you have like Marvin Harrison Jr., Caleb Williams, you have linemen. You have defensive linemen. Like, this year's draft is stacked.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is don't go after JG. Don't go after Monty Osenfort. I mean, like, we're literally – these two men are cleaning up the mess of Steve Keim and Cliff Kingsbury. We got to remember, we asked for this. We asked for a regime change. We asked for, hey, get rid of Keim, get rid of Kingsbury. It happened. And now we have guys that have winning mentalities. So let's just kind of ride the ride. I think we should have expected this from the beginning, honestly, because the fact that, we're not built to go to the playoffs. We're not. We could be like that defense we have now is tough, yes, but we can build off of that. We can build for the future. I think right now, they just need to see Kyler play. See Kyler play, put the questions to bed, and then after that, then we're good, right? I don't care if we go to the playoffs. I knew we were going to lose, right? But I'd rather just them give Kyler a chance to prove himself. Because literally, you watch him, he wants to play. He's going to shut up all the doubters, shut up all everybody. Because he looks like, I'm going to prove everybody wrong. And that's dangerous. That's a dangerous mentality when somebody's in that kind of state of mind. So let's see what we got. I mean, we let him play, see what happens for the rest of the year, and then we prepare for next year, right? We have all these high draft picks. Let's use them. Let's build this team like Keim couldn't. Keim could not build a team. Let Monty build this team the way we want to see it, because then they're just going to be like the Diamondbacks. They're going to be like the Phoenix Suns. We're going to rally. We're going to have to rally as fans. Yeah, it sucks, but let's rally. Let's make it happen. And literally, this Cardinals team is going to be good next year. Right now, not so much. We might finish like below 500, but I still have faith that this team is going to be good next year and for years to come, just like the Diamondbacks and just like the Phoenix Suns. And we're not going to be those sad Cardinals fans that everybody has gotten to know. So,
love it. All right, AZ fan, appreciate you, man.
Yep.
I feel like we're going to have that Detroit Lions kind of style rebuild, where just super bad season here. We're going to build on it, and then we're going to kind of establish that culture. I feel like we don't really have a culture, like insane culture right now. I feel like we're bought in, but like the culture's not there. Like Dan Campbell came in, you kind of just saw the culture. I feel like the culture will be built next year on wins. I feel like Jonathan Gannon is very nonchalant, and it's not going to be like, it's kind of like the Nick Sirianni. You know what I mean?
Right.
When we're winning, you're going to see the culture kind of rise, and the media attention will probably shift on and latch on when Kyler Murray's playing, and if that's the direction they go. But I feel like we're going to have a really bad year this year. Like 4 to 5 wins was my prediction. It might be under that, honestly. But I feel like we're going to have a 4 to 5 win season. We're going to build on it, win like 7, 8, 9, and potentially have a chance to crack like a wild card spot. But then year 3 with this new regime, I feel like is where we're going to get everything going. Like it's just going to take time, and it sucks because obviously we want things now, but that's just unfortunately not where we're at. But hopefully my prediction's spot on, and we can kind of get to that point and just keep building.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, the biggest knock on JG right now is why aren't we playing Clayton Tune?
Literally,
that's the biggest knock on him.
That's it. I mean, like I feel like I can't hate, like, obviously the record's 1-7, but I'm not hating on him because I know what he took over. I know what you're trying to build. You're trying to gut out the roster literally and build it your way. And that's what him and Monty Austin-Ford are doing. So, like, I understand it. Like, the roster's not talented to win. I'm not going to discredit you, but, like, I just want to see Clayton Tune on the field. And that's my only knock, honestly. That's literally it. And then, obviously, the Kyler Murray stuff, like, obviously they know more than we do. So I'm kind of just like, if he's fully healthy, though, like, obviously I want to see him up, but ramp him up, do your thing, let him come back fully healthy and 100%. But literally the only knock so far is Clayton Tune. Like, I'm not faulting you for a 1-7 record. If you can get us 3, 4, 5 wins, then cool. Like, you know what I mean? Cool.
I think 3 wins is probably what they're shooting for. I'm just I don't know. I mean, we'll
probably
see.
Honestly, I feel like we're at a point where like 2 to 3, like just secure the number 1 spot so you can build this team where you really want it. Like, obviously no one wants to tank, but like, who knows? Like,
the Cardinals are in a better position with Kyler Murray at quarterback heading into 2024 and a lot of picks. And if we did get that first overall and decide to sell it, you know, obviously we would be in a much better position as opposed to starting a rookie quarterback and starting kind of over.
Yeah,
I do agree with that.
Get a big time player, maybe like a Brian Burns or just like someone like of that aspect of like top tier players. You know what I mean? They got DJ Moore, obviously borderline wide receiver 1, can make explosive plays here and there. He's kind of like CeeDee Lamb, in my opinion. He's like the same tier of receiver. Maybe CeeDee Lamb has a higher ceiling, but like as it stands right now, like same player. Like we can get a player like that. So who really knows? Like we get that number 1 overall pick. Who knows what they can get? Maybe they just go for draft capital. You know what I mean? Get the rookie contracts so you don't overpay something. Who knows? Maybe they go get like a Justin Jefferson and some picks. Like I don't know. Like just that's crazy bold. But like who knows? You know what I mean? Like it's just. The possibilities are endless,
and that's what it is. So I mean, I'm gonna get it in my mind. We're not trying to win. I think it'll make me feel a lot better when we do throw Dobbs out there and we're just seeing the same thing over and over again. So at this point, just let me be me. We're not trying to win, right? That's what I'm going with. So all right, man. Any final thoughts here on anything Cardinals related? Let me know here, Mythic, before we close up shop.
I think we covered it. Just pure depression, pure pain, and we're just going to ride with it for the rest of the season. Tune in with us Monday, Wednesday, Friday if you want to come cope with us.
Absolutely. All right, man. All right, let's close up shop here. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Everybody in the live chat, thank you so very much for keeping us entertained. You guys did a very good job. Thank you so very much for all the donations that were given here on the channel. Appreciate you guys. We do go live here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Here is the schedule for the Apple Podcast people out there, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But for the specific times on a live stream for YouTube, everybody take a screenshot, go ahead and send it to your grandma, cousin, second cousin, anybody who is Cardinal fans. Join in and join in our therapy sessions, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cards.